kind of was like, whoa, my bad. And he'll be doing kissing and rubbing it.
What, you've seen Diddy kiss a man?
I definitely seen Diddy kiss a man. I walked into the room and seen Diddy kiss a man. A powerful man.
Okay. Do you say who that is?
That what? I can't. Yeah.
Someone...
Because that person is still in the music industry and it's a big dog. And
so if you were to say that name, I would know who that is right off top.
Yes, you would.
Is this a openly gay man?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Court documents filed in the Southern District of New York on February 26th accused Diddy of a harrowing sexual assault that allegedly took place in 2012 when a Florida-based male escort, John Doe, claims he was coerced into degrading acts. At New York's Intercontinental Hotel, Doe alleges that Diddy forced him to perform both oral and penetrative sex on a woman in the room.
Hit squad. And reckless. You know what I'm saying? MC Doc, baby. We came to do this. You heard?
Hey, what's poppin', y'all? Y'all now rocking with the Doc, man. Hey, we coming with another reaction, man. Hey, this is Friday. So what it is it's a diversified day, is what I want to say. You know what I'm saying? So what we doing now, we just basically going around just functioning with everybody, man. We trying to see what everybody doing around the world. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what we be doing. But then there's other people out there be doing the most. So what we finna do is get into this video right here. And this one right here, man, is like basically y'all seen the thumbnail. So it's like I don't even have to describe what we about to see. But from my understanding and allegedly, it's some of these freak-offs, you know what I'm saying, allegations from people that was actually there. You know what I'm saying? Want to talk about the incident and talk about what they seen. It could be allegedly, man. You know what I'm saying? So far, since Diddy been in jail, a lot of people been coming out the woodwork. But it can be for a money grab, though. You feel me? So that's why we don't even want to, speculate the speculations, man. You know what I'm saying? So we finna watch it together. Then y'all get y'all little input. You know what I'm saying? Leave a like. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, if you feel it's worth it, share it. You know what I'm saying? If you're new here, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe. Now, don't let the subscriptions outdo the views or the views outdo the subscriptions. If 40 people come in here to watch the video, 40 people should subscribe if you're not already. Let's get to it, though, man. We finna sit back, relax, and watch it with y'all. Let's go.
He had 3 security guards with him, and he basically made this guy drop to his knees and give him oral sex.
Damn.
With the three security guards watching.
Damn.
What's the most number of people you've seen having sex in a room at one time?
6.
6 people. Is Diddy one of them?
Yes.
One leaked clip could unravel decades of secrets. A male escort has just dropped an insane video from Diddy's notorious freak-offs, and the fallout is explosive.
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video. And I can tell the video was pornographic in nature.
Oh my, all right. So we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home, did he? And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well.
Hey man, y'all gotta keep the cameras off.
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping, like they're being surreptitiously recorded it.
Mm-hmm. In the glittering corridors of celebrity, nothing is ever as it seems.
Hey, on the real though, that's like you go over somebody's house, they got cameras in the toilet and shit, so when you sit in there or whatever, they can see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's nasty. You know what I'm saying? And then it's perverted in a way, because you finna see somebody like urinate or defecate or whatever, and that's not good to film or watch. You know what I'm saying? So if he had cameras like that all through his house, though, it's like, man, no telling what's caught on there, man. They probably show him with his own kids on there, man. Real talk. When you're so rich like that, sometimes you don't care what people say until you get caught.
Today, we bring you an exclusive look inside the secretive world of Sean Diddy Combs. Our investigation takes us deep into a murky realm of scandal, power and betrayal. And it all begins with a shocking tape leaked by a man known only as John Doe. But what does this clip reveal? And how does it connect to the long, controversial saga of alleged abuse and wild sex parties that have shadowed Diddy's career?
The civil lawsuits are wild. There was this new guy that popped up that basically said that Puffy faced him at the back of a Macy's. You heard this one?
I didn't hear about the face.
Yes.
I didn't hear about the
face lawsuit right now.
There's a face lawsuit, right? So face is the new baby oil.
I guess so.
Face is an ill term. You just said that's
right.
A wild term. Face.
Yeah, this guy who worked for Echo at the time, I guess, ran into Puffy in the stockroom of a Macy's right here, right down the street, the flagship store. Puffy had 3 security guards with him, and he basically made this guy drop to his knees and give him oral sex.
Damn.
With the 3 security guards watching.
Damn.
I'm sure they're looking at each other going like, man, they don't pay me enough for this shit. Like,
yeah, I'd be like,
I'm
yo,
not going
man,
to work
fuck
tomorrow.
This man. It's got to be another rapper I can work for. I'll work security at Madison Square Garden. This is too much, man. At what point is it? Like, I know it's good, you know, but this is crazy. We get the yachts and occasional, you know, the second and third chick, but this is at a certain point, it's like, come on, man. I've had enough. This face, you get me heating up the baby oil. This is, come on, man. I'm just supposed to be like a security guard pushing people away, like, you know, fending off autograph seekers. This is too much.
See, now I kind of think like with that leaked phone call, and he was telling his sons, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we need to recycle all the plastic. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? The baby oil was in plastic bottles. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, was that a way to say, get rid of the baby oil? You know what I'm saying? Even though they've seen it ahead of time. But, you know, I think when he said recycle the plastic, and then it's like it could be for, you know, memory cards, USBs, you know what I'm saying? And shit like that, where you can store all the, you know, photos and videos and everything. So it's like people got to watch what they say, especially in jail, man. Don't talk on the phone. Diddy's
in the room?
Yes, I've seen that too.
Okay. Like, how many people are actually having sexual relations in one room at a time?
Well, that varies.
What's the most number of people you've seen having sex in a room at one time?
6.
6 people. Is Diddy one of them?
Yes.
Okay. Was it heterosexual?
It was diabolical.
Meaning?
That means that it was like a trisexual type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, he was trying it all. They was doing it all. 6 people in one room, oily as shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like if it wasn't no kids in there and wasn't nobody drugged, whatever they was doing, that could be cool. You know what I'm saying? If you're into that, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even old, y'all. You know, we had our days of being in orgies and shit back in the days. Real shit. So, and it's like this, though. It's like, do you want to really do that? Because your mate can want somebody else. That dude can want your mate because of what y'all doing in there. How y'all sounding and all that. It make people want to figure it out. So, but if they did that and they rich as shit and that's all they, you know, do whatever, that's cool. Leave the kids out and the drugging people, and then that shit would have been cool as shit. He could have been doing that all the rest of his life.
I seen Diddy. This ain't my first time seeing Diddy doing things with a man in my face.
What was he doing?
I never seen Diddy have sex with a man. I seen Diddy doing things that I always kind of was like, whoa, my bad. And he'll be doing kissing and rubbing.
Wait, you've seen Diddy kiss a man?
I definitely seen Diddy kiss a man. I walked into the room and seen Diddy kiss a man. A powerful man.
Okay. Can you say what that is?
That what? I can't. Yeah.
Someone...
Because that person is still in the music industry and it's a big dog. And,
so if you were to say that name, I would know who that is right off top.
Yes, you would.
Is this a openly gay man?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Court documents filed in the Southern District of New York on February 26th.
Hey,
accused
Vlad
Diddy
be trying
of
to
a
get it
harrowing
out.
sexual assault that allegedly took place in 2012, when a Florida-based male escort, John Doe, claims he was coerced into degrading acts. At New York's Intercontinental Hotel, Doe alleges that Diddy forced him to perform both oral and penetrative sex on a woman in the room, a moment that has since ignited fierce controversy. He claims that Diddy not only fed him from a water bottle, but also rubbed baby oil all over his body, leaving him feeling as if he had been and completely out of control.
Sex worker says that he was contacted by Diddy, said that they were gonna meet at a hotel in New York City, and he showed up there and Diddy was there with a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Doesn't name the girlfriend, but says that that immediately they, got naked. And that Diddy forced the sex worker to perform a sex act on his girlfriend for several hours. And then he brings up something we've heard in other lawsuits, that is baby oil.
Yeah.
Feeling like you were drunk.
Right.
The lawsuit does not name the victim, but says John Doe worked for what's being called a male companion service out of Florida in 2012. It says Doe would travel to New York upon Combs' request. In one instance, Doe allegedly went to the Intercontinental Hotel in New York, and Combs is accused of ordering him to perform sex acts on a female companion. Doe claims that Combs had him drink from a water bottle, and then Combs rubbed baby oil on Doe's body. The lawsuit says that Doe felt like he had been drunk and not in complete control of his body, which may have been because of either the oil or what was in that water bottle.
See, y'all gotta put it together when y'all hear bleep out those, cause that's perfect right there. So I won't have to do it, but it's bleeped out for a reason. Just figure it out.
In a chilling twist, Doe alleges that Diddy further violated him by inserting his finger. After the assault, Diddy allegedly threatened him by saying, "If I can get Pac hit, what the f do you think can happen to you?"
And then he alleges that that Diddy then sodomized him.
Right.
Some of that stuff we've heard in other lawsuits. The twist here is something that he said occurred during the sexual assault, something that Diddy said to him that references another really notorious thing that Diddy, his name is attached to, but he has never been accused of this. But in this lawsuit, the male sex worker says that Diddy said to him, "If I can get Pac, as in Tupac, hit, what the blank do you think can happen to you?"
I thought I heard that. That's what I'm saying. So it's like the sex worker telling exactly what he said now. So therefore, if Dog is responsible for Pac actually really getting hit, I don't care how many years he get. Real talk though. Cause it's like that was some coward shit. Why you in the celebrity fight the dude? You know what I'm saying? I don't like that nigga, man. Let's fight. You know what I'm saying? You gotta spread your money and your muscle money and shit and go kill that nigga. And they did it, and then they ain't even get paid, and then everybody that was involved is dead. He deserved what he about to get, dog, if he had Pac hit. Not for the baby oil and the sex stuff. He can do that all day long and leave them kids up out of there. Cause I'll get them for fucking with the kids. We don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And where they do that. And then he fucking up the Scorpios. Cause he a Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio. November 4th is his birthday. November 17th mine. We don't do that. We you know what I'm saying? We want our mate or whoever we mess with, we want them to be conscious so they'll know what we're doing. So they can feel what we doing. When he do it his way, he doing it to where, you know what I'm saying, he not secure at himself. Feel me? So therefore you gotta like do, man.
Like, don't say anything.
Right, it was a threat of
Your mouth shut.
keep your mouth shut about this, otherwise I'm gonna do to you what I did to Tupac.
The suit says after multiple hours of being ordered
Yeah,
to
if he killed
degrade
Pac,
and
fuck
perform
that.
degrading
Straight
acts on that female companion, John Doe tried to leave by going to the bathroom. And that's when the lawsuit accuses Combs of sexually assaulting John Doe while telling him to stay. The suit says Combs raped John Doe for 4 to 5 minutes before threatening him. Combs allegedly told the man, quote, "You better not say a word to anybody about this. Did you hear me?" And he continued by saying, quote, "I'm not bleeping playing with you." Then, in this lawsuit, John Doe accuses Combs of invoking the name of Tupac and his murder by saying this in quotes. "I'm not bleeping playing with you. If I can get Pac hit, what bleep do you think can happen to you?" Pac, aka Tupac, was killed in 1996 in a drive-by shooting in Nevada. While Combs and Tupac were on different ends of the East Coast, West Coast rap rivalry of the 90s, police never considered Combs a suspect in Tupac's murder, or they haven't said so publicly. Anything tying Diddy to Tupac has been speculation and part of the rumor mill, no solid, concrete facts. Currently, former LA area gang leader Dwayne Keefe D. Davis is charged with Tupac's murder. He's been the only person criminally charged in this case. The 61-year-old was arrested in September 2023 and has pleaded not guilty. Davis has tried to shift the blame for Tupac's murder to Combs in his court proceedings.
Needless to say, Diddy's team is absolutely denying this. They're saying that no matter how many lawsuits are filed against Diddy, they're still maintaining their innocence, saying that he did not sexually assault anyone. I mean, it just feels somewhat, with the exception of the Tupac bit here, it feels like deja vu all over again. Since he was indicted, I mean, it just feels like every week we see some type of lawsuit from a Jane Doe or a John Doe alleging, sexual assault, among other things, and I'm just curious when it's finally going to come to an end, if it even does.
If it does, exactly. Yeah. Because remember, all of these lawsuits, Diddy and his team, they're not going to deal with any of this until after they're done dealing with the federal
lawsuits,
case.
money. Diddy's life, his freedom is on the line right now, right?
But what they could come together here, because what we've learned is that the individual who's filed this lawsuit is willing, if the feds want to sit down with him, is willing to testify. He actually wants to talk to prosecutors because they feel that they are a prime example of what the feds have alleged, and so therefore...
And I'm sure the feds will take them up on that, Charles. I mean, this is alleged to have happened around 2012 time. I would think that the feds would absolutely want to sit down with this John Doe.
Yeah, at the very least, to have the conversation, get the information, whether or not they actually becoming a testifying, witness.
Right.
Who knows?
Meanwhile, a separate expose by Rolling Stone unveils another disturbing chapter as male sex worker Nathan recounts his experiences at Diddy's notorious freak-offs. Nathan reveals that in 2019, Diddy proposed a threesome at Miami's One Hotel, a lavish setup that promised indulgence, but delivered something far more sinister.
Plaintiff was, at all relevant times, a Las Vegas-based entertainer who aspired to become a musician. Knowing that plaintiff desperately sought a breakthrough in the music industry, Combs enticed plaintiff with fraudulent promises of a career in the music industry. Combs used his false promises of career and advancement as weapons, trapping plaintiff in a vortex of exploitation and fear. Combs did not follow through with these promises. Instead, Combs subjected plaintiff to a relentless pattern of sexual assaults, death threats, clandestine recording, blackmail, and psychological manipulation that far exceeded any bounds of consent or professionalism. So very similar allegations to what is leveled in Combs' criminal indictment and other lawsuits as well. This lawsuit continues, quote, Combs dehumanized plaintiff and reduced him to a mere object for Combs' own amusement and to satisfy his own sexual fetishes. Combs gravely exploited plaintiff, effectively imprisoning him and controlling him through surreptitious surveillance and filming. Combs' recordings were not just blatant invasions of plaintiff's privacy, but he wielded them as tools of blackmail, forcing plaintiff to continuously comply with his perverse sexual demands. Combs covertly plaintiff to strip plaintiff of his ability to resist his sexual demands. Bad Boy Entertainment, Combs' production company, facilitated Combs' calculated abuse and played a significant part in Combs' ruthless scheme to exploit plaintiff.
Well, one of the things that was mentioned in the lawsuit was the freak-offs.
Yes.
So, in the lawsuit, Cassie said while in New York, Diddy told her that he wanted to engage in a fantasy of his called voyeurism. He said it would turn him on if he saw Cassie with another dick. So, he allegedly forced her to engage in sex acts with male sex workers while he would masturbate and film it. First time, Diddy hired a man, brought him to his home in Los Angeles. Everyone was wearing masquerade masks.
I could believe.
And everyone took drugs. He would instruct her to perform sex acts with the man while he watched. He would masturbate and, have the man do specific acts This would last for multiple days. He would call them FREAKOFFs or FOs. And he would basically tell her that he wanted this thing all the time. And eventually he would have her actually go to websites to hire these male sex workers herself. He basically said that this was our thing and our secret. These FREAKOFFs would happen at all types of hotels all around the country. At one point in 2013, they were at the Intercontinental in New York, where there was like tens of thousands of dollars of damages in the hotel after one of these. She said the chief of staff, Tony Fletcher, paid the invoice. Were you around Tony Fletcher?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
These explosive revelations have cast a long shadow over Diddy's once glamorous image, forcing the public to confront a darker narrative lurking behind the fame. Amid escalating legal battles, Diddy now faces charges of racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution, with his trial slated for May 5th.
We wrote a story about Diddy's party within a party. Like, you know, everybody knows about his famous white parties that would attract people like Leonardo DiCaprio, Paris Hilton, Mariah Carey, you know, a whole crowd of well-known people. Howard Stern would be there. But what maybe they didn't know about, and maybe you don't know about, is that there would be a party within the party. As the night wore on, these sort of A-list names would go home. I mean, it's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, okay, the party's over, let's leave. Well, for some people, the party was only just beginning. There would be like back bedrooms where Diddy and his, let's say, more debauchery-oriented friends would have a different kind of party. I spoke with a gentleman who was a dealer who would deliver to Diddy at the legit white party and at the other party. And he recalled a story in which he went to make a delivery, knocked on the door, Diddy answered in his robe, brought him back there, and the guy, you know, did what he did with the they did the transaction. And he said the shocking thing to him wasn't that there were or that there were, you know, naked ladies or naked men or, you know, all kinds of powders laying around. What was shocking to him was what he saw rappers doing. He goes, I saw rappers doing things I never expected to see, and it totally changed the way I look at them. I guess he's saying there was male-on-male sex among rappers, which not everybody knew about.
So Tootsie is the coke, but they take the cat and cook it up, and they fold it into the cup. Now, if you don't know what cat is what they call on the street special cat. It's a veterinary, it's a horse tranquilizer. Now, gay men have been using this for years. See, back in the day, if you went to a gay party or a gay rave, there were certain drugs you would always find on hand. Viagra, ecstasy, special K, and cocaine. Now, see, the can keep you up all night, but unfortunately, it gives you limp noodle because of what the blood flow is. So you wants to fuck with a half-hard dick all night. So that's why you have the Viagra, to make sure that the dick involuntarily stays hard while you're numbing yourself with the coke. Now, see, the cat, that's a horse tranquilizer, so that relaxes all your muscles. You could get by 80-ton gorillas. You wouldn't feel a thing.
Hey, see, now that right there, that's crazy right there. That's all I got to say about that. If you got to do all that to have sex with people, if either you're not for sure yourself or you just I don't know, it's just a wild demonic dream you had. I don't know what that's about though, man. I can't even imagine Diddy, rich as they are, and I'm not knocking nobody that do it, but like basically, come on, man. You got access to any woman pretty much in the world and have some beautiful ones on his back. You feel me? But then you still want to like hump on little white boys, little kids. From my understanding and allegedly, I heard that they was like trisexual, so therefore they was humping on animals. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's crazy right there. Just to bust a nut, that is so crazy right there on the real. I wouldn't even go through all that, man. I'm telling you out, man. This world is crazy over a nut. Let's go.
So now, your dick is gonna stay hard. You numbed up and you high. You got the caffeine in you, so you don't feel. And then you add that to put in the feeling that you've now blocked out.
See, niggas just walking around the house just on super stiff. And then they just run into whoever opened and they was just taking it. I can imagine how it could possibly be. Which that part, if you love sex or whatever, and you are around that, it's like that could be some fun, cool shit. Like, but you know, being safe with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they was using rubbers. We don't know who had diseases. So a lot of shit come with that real super nasty stuff. But what they were doing for people that love doing it, it seemed fun without the kids, the drugs, and all that shit. Seemed like a cool little time, though. We experienced times like that, though. Not like showing everything and messing with dudes, but we had our own girls, just a lot of us in the room. That's, you know, people do that.
And now you got a party.
FREAKOFF cocktail.
Yeah.
Despite the mounting evidence, Diddy's legal team vehemently denies all allegations, insisting that these claims are baseless and that his client has never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone. They argue that the so-called FREAKOFF tapes, which are under strict review, actually prove that every encounter was a consensual act between adults in long-term relationships.
That's cool.
Sean Diddy Combs is responding to a new indictment against him. In the court docs, prosecutors accuse Combs of knowingly transporting people from 2009 to 2024, quote, with intent that the individuals engage in prostitution, stating that he willfully caused the transportation of female victims, including but not limited to Victim 1, Victim 2, and Victim 3, and commercial sex workers in interstate and foreign commerce on multiple occasions. The indictment also alleges that he, quote, engaged in a persistent and pervasive pattern of abuse toward women that was verbal, emotional, physical, and at times sexual. With
Yeah, he can't say he didn't do it. We seen that tape.
Women to participate in orchestrated performances of sexual activity with Combs. At times, Combs and others acting at his direction made arrangements for women and commercial sex workers to fly to Combs' location.
Hey, I promise y'all though this, and I ain't gonna stop it no more because we got a little bit more to go still, but I promise y'all this, and this is just something that just came to me. Excuse me. I know Puffy being in that cell right now wish that that lady was already unalived before any of this happened. You know what I'm saying? I know he thought that. Like, I could have been got rid of her, and then Lil Rob and everybody that's really coming forward though. But if you do people wrong, trust and believe they gonna sit, plot, and they gonna get you back. Especially if you was super shitty to them. Excuse my French. But you know, if you was real like evil and mean to them or whatever, and they really harbored it in like I did, you aren't supposed to like hold it in. You don't. You're supposed to pray, let go, and let God do it. You feel me? But some people can't take that. But I'm going to finish it off, man. I just wanted to say that for the simple fact that, man, he could have had a way better success from not recording people, from not like manipulating, from not trying to be this super, super boss. But I know having $1 billion in your account can make anybody say anything and do anything to anybody. So I can imagine why he was like that. But then again, if you paid to get somebody killed, you a weenie.
Combs ensured participation from the women by, among other things, obtaining and distributing narcotics to them, controlling their careers, leveraging
Pac would have beat him up for real,
and threatening to cut off the same,
straight
and using intimidation and violence. In response to this new indictment against the record mogul, his lawyer Mark Agnifilo claims prosecutors are making a major mistake in their filing. Telling E! News in a statement January 30th, the latest indictment contains no new offenses. The prosecution's theory remains flawed.
And they really emphasize that since Combs is facing accusations of sexual misconduct and wrongdoing in a number of civil lawsuits, so separate from the criminal case, civil lawsuits, many people have come out and sued him, and by the way, many of which we've covered here on Sidebar. They argue that the government is basically forcing Sean Combs and his attorneys to play a guessing game about which allegations he's actually going to be forced to defend in the criminal case. We don't know. Second, his defense team argued, quote, given the anticipated amount of discovery and the expected time required for its production, Mr. Combs will be unable to adduce the identities of the purported victims from the discovery without the assistance of the government. Mr. Combs also anticipates that the discovery will contain voluminous evidence of consensual sexual activity, making it all the more difficult for Mr. Combs to ascertain which of his prior sexual partners now claim years later that they felt coerced.
Right.
Even if it were possible to ascertain the victim's identity from the discovery, and especially given the volume of anticipated discovery, it's unfair to require Mr. Combs to spend significant time trying to unearth the alleged victims' identities. Again, goes back to the larger narrative. How on earth do we know exactly what the prosecution is arguing, what evidence they're going to introduce, which claims they're going to be focusing on, which alleged victims they're going to be focusing on? How is Sean Combs going to be properly able to defend himself if he doesn't know the specifics of this, right?
They watching the tapes. They got them all. That's what's going to decide dog fate, the tapes, period. You know what I'm saying? Because if everybody on there and everything is copacetic, everything is legal, everything is cool, it's going to be a waste of time. You know what I mean? And then those that shook them is not real friends. I'm going to let it finish playing. My bad. But I got to, interact with y'all to let y'all know how I feel too, though. But straight up.
Yet, with each new revelation, the line between fact and fabrication blurs, leaving us to wonder what is real and what is a manipulation of scandal for public consumption. As more evidence emerges online, some claim that the leaked clip is the most damning piece yet, capable of swaying both public opinion and the course of the trial.
So John Doe claims that back in 2007, he was recognized as one of the premier performers in the Las Vegas adult entertainment scene, and that he worked with agencies to help book him for different things. And he says both he and his clients, they would use pseudonyms, and he wouldn't know the identity of his clients until meeting up with them. But now he claims that around this time, again 2007, in and around 2007, he was booked to perform a strip show in a hotel room in Las Vegas. And he didn't know until arriving that that day, his client would be Sean Combs. And he claims when he showed up, the rapper gave him a full-body pat-down. John Doe proceeded to dance, he proceeded to strip, and then Combs paid him $1,500. And it must have gone well because according to John Doe, he says in the following months, Combs booked him at 2 more times in Las Vegas. And he also says that each time he showed up, he didn't know it was going to be Combs until he got there. And that each time, Combs had a different woman with him. A little side note here. The complaint reads, on these additional engagements through plaintiff's agencies, Combs offered plaintiff beverages, which plaintiff consumed. Combs also asked plaintiff to apply baby oil to plaintiff's skin during the performances, which plaintiff did. After applying the baby oil, plaintiff became unusually sleepy, disoriented, confused, exhausted, drowsy, weak, sluggish, numb, and alarmed by the sensation of being trapped in his own body. Plaintiff felt a heavy sensation behind his eyes and felt that moving his body became more difficult and exhausting. So first of all, baby oil, lubricant, very reminiscent of what's being alleged in Sean Combs' criminal case and other lawsuits as well about potential drugs. But also the baby oil, this is important. I remember in another lawsuit filed by a different John Doe from last year, there was a claim in that case that Combs had laced baby oil with the date drug GHB. Now, this complaint continues. While plaintiff was in this disoriented state, Combs instructed him to perform acts that were outside the scope of the agreed upon performance and limitations set by plaintiff and his agency. Combs instructed plaintiff to engage in acts such as pleasuring himself while Combs and the women engaged in sexual intercourse. Plaintiff, left in an incapacitated state after applying the baby oil to his skin, found himself mentally and physically unable to resist or express his discomfort, leading to his unwilling compliance with Combs' demands, essentially meaning he didn't consent to any of this. Once the intoxicating effects of the substances have subsided, plaintiff felt a deep sense of humiliation and shame for being coerced into such acts.
Interestingly, Diddy's camp points to a supposed transformation following a 2016 incident with ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, claiming that his subsequent surrender to authorities proves his reformation.
And for a lot of people who maybe, they think they're familiar with hip hop culture because they might see an awards show and maybe some music videos. Maybe people have always sort of assumed that there are these freaky parties that go on, and maybe in their minds, that's what they can be told in a courtroom, that sure, freaky parties are everywhere, and this was no different. But the difference in this case is the witnesses and the number of people who filed civil complaints that all seem to line up with the same kind of narrative.
Yeah, and you know, the civil cases will be put on hold during the criminal trial, I'm sure. But these witnesses can definitely go to court. There is no doubt in my mind that the star witness for the prosecution is Cassie, his ex-girlfriend, who he beat horribly at the Century Plaza Hotel in 2016. But there were going to be a lot of other women as well, and men. And I think the volume is going to be very difficult for him to overcome.
Every new piece of evidence seems designed to pull the rug from under our expectations, challenging the narrative built around Diddy's glamorous facade. The leaked clip from his freak-offs isn't mere gossip. It exposes a realm where power meets desire. With more footage, more allegations, and a trial looming on the horizon, the stakes continue to rise dramatically. While Diddy's defenders insist that the truth will eventually emerge, the leaked clip and eyewitness testimonies demand a closer look at the man behind the myth.
Now, what did she allege? Well, she alleged that in 2004, she was at a party when all of a sudden she was escorted away to a separate room by a security guard who simply allegedly said to her, "You know what you're here for." He allegedly locked the door and left her and her friend inside with Sean Combs. And according to her, Sean Combs allegedly forced McCrary's friend to perform oral sex on him, or else he would have them both killed. That's a threat that he allegedly made. And when it came to McCrary, here is what the complaint reads, quote, "Combs soon turned his sights to Miss McCrary and forced her to take her clothes off, again under the threat of violence. Once she was undressed, Combs forced himself on her and began to sexually assault her. Combs fondled, molested, and ultimately raped Miss McCrary, all while she was begging him to stop. Soon, and likely due to Miss McCrary's cries, the door opened and the security guard from earlier came in to ask if everything was all right. Miss McCrary's friend took the opportunity to rush out of the recently locked door. Miss McCrary, however, could not move as Mr. Combs was still on top of her. Combs got off Miss McCrary to talk to the security guard. He left the room but told Miss McCrary to stay, otherwise she would be killed. After about half an hour of sitting in the dark room by herself, another security guard came and told her that she could leave. Miss McCrary gathered her things and left immediately and called a taxi back to her dormitory in downtown Brooklyn.
That's why. That's why he made that statement, to set it up. To set up the atmosphere that, yo, this guy's gonna lie on us. This guy ain't gonna tell the truth on us. But what we know is that wherever Diddy went, his tape recorders went. His camera equipment was working. He was videotaping everything. So they might have that videotape already.
Now to new developments in the federal trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Combs' legal team is fighting to keep evidence authorities found during the raids on the music mogul's homes out of court. This, as one of Diddy's attorneys is stepping down ahead of the trial.
Yeah, Combs faces serious charges, including racketeering, sex, and prostitution, which he's pleaded not guilty to. So let's go ahead and bring in ABC senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky and legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer. Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. So let's go ahead and start with this motion to suppress evidence. I mean, this is really interesting because Diddy's defense team says that those raids on his home were unconstitutional. How so?
You remembered the agents from Homeland Security Investigations were none too shy, Gio. They burst in, they had guns, and they rummaged through a lot of things, and that's where the defense says the agents went wrong. When they applied for the search warrant applications, the defense says they were just too broad. They allowed the agents to go through everything without being specific. The defense also says that when they were applying, they gave the magistrate judge who approved the warrants kind of an incomplete picture. They excluded things that could have been helpful to Sean Combs, and they included some salacious details, the defense said, from an unnamed producer who the defense says just wasn't credible.
And if you want to be the first to catch every new revelation and explosive update, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because the truth is coming, and you won't want to miss a second of it.
And the truth will set you free, dog. The truth definitely gonna set you free, man. Hey, I appreciate anybody that rocked with me to the very end, man, because it's like I want to basically get like the true facts about everybody that I like, everybody I grew up like really like enjoying their music. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be deceived by somebody. So therefore, I just react to these just to be like, damn. So if you was messing with kids, that mean I don't even want to rock with your music no more type thing. Because it's stuff that you just don't do as grown people. So I just wanted to say that, man. I love y'all. If you rocking with your boy, come on, man. We trying to do the greatest work. You know what I'm saying? We trying to do the best we can. What I'm going to do is, though, I got to dig into some, like, unsolved mysteries and unsolved cases and shit like that. Because it's like when you got a platform, you got to look out. So it's like if somebody done something to somebody a long time ago or whatever, as journalists, as, you know, media, as what we do, you know what I'm saying? We're supposed to expose these people and tell them. You know what I'm saying? We don't want other people like just believing everything. So when it come to us, we be figuring it out like, all right, if we get the proof and this and that, we could tell people how to like pack their food, get ready because the war coming, anything, you know what I'm saying? So y'all need us just as well because they got AI. AI know how to fix a gang of stories and put them there and y'all will believe them and the story don't even exist. So what we try to do is bring it to you right, raw, and rugged, baby. I love y'all, man. Stick with your boy. Like, share, subscribe, man. Coolest dude on YouTube, man. Spiffy guy in the mix for 56. Heh!